And it just so happens I was on doing an interview this morning again in Athens, which is going to be in a public television program. And I spoke with the reporter, the host, whatever you would call it, about the sale of the islands. And what is it, Mykonos, I think is the key one they want to sell first. And I went through and discussed what I think about the Greek situation, and I gave them a list of Bilderbergers from the manufacturing, banking, bureaucrats, politicians in Greece who have attended these meetings, which they didn't have. And I told them what these people are up to. And I also told them specifically, do not allow the government to sell off anything. And, of course, I told them about Papandreou's background as a Bilderberger and as an illuminist. And that'll be all over Greece and all over many other countries as well. But the bottom line here is if we really want to hurt the illuminists in Europe, and worldwide for that matter, what we've got to do is get Greece to default on their debt, leave the euro, go back to the drachma, and clean up their act, like cut governmental expenses 30%, make the rich pay their taxes, and don't increase taxes, lower them.
Because as Kennedy knows, they cut taxes by 50% and tax receipts double. Just like California's raised taxes and was in the L.A. Times a few weeks ago. Oh, our money, tax receipts went down when we raised taxes. They want to drive us into bankruptcy.
That's right. And so that was the advice I gave them. And I told them if Greece does that, the other four, P-I-I-G-S, known as pigs, which are Ireland, Spain, Italy, and Portugal, they'll do the same thing. And can you imagine the disruption that's going to cause? All the banks who are holding the bonds are going to go under. We're talking Deutsche Bank, Hypo Bank, and the governments are going to, suffer grievously who are holding bonds as well in those countries, like Germany and France and the Netherlands and Austria and Belgium. And so the disruption will be enormous. And I hope they go ahead and do it, and I hope everybody in Greece watches the program, because there's nobody out there saying what you and I are saying, but a handful of us. And reflecting back to what you were talking about earlier, about us affecting people in the way they think and telling them what's outside that box, Alex, this is spreading all over the world, and you know that, but I had to say it, because we're really affecting people in foreign countries.
Oh, I know. I mean, I can get off a fishing boat in Honduras, and people in bare feet are running up saying, Alex Jones, Alex Jones. I mean, it's the same thing with all the Patriot leaders. It's so amazing. That's why there's a giant government demonization campaign of myself, yourself, and others, and they have COINTELPRO posing as patriots that attack us 24/7. That's the certification that our work is so important. I mean, look at the fruits of what we've done. Look at what we cover. We're just calling for liberty and freedom and the Republic and the Second Amendment and private property. Is that bad? We'll be back with Bob Chapman. And then separately, first it was going to be 500, then 600, and now $1.2 billion for a 3-day G20, G8 summit. So when the real owners of America and Canada and the world, the bankers that, the Madoff, Ken Lay types that create the derivatives fraud, who are taking over islands, literal private pension fund raiders are in the news in this London Guardian article with money they made off selling derivatives to Greece. Now Greece is selling them their own 600 islands to be private islands of the bankers. It actually says that in the Guardian as if it's a good thing. And then $1+ billion for 3 days of security for these banking parasites to come into town. And, of course, it turns out their companies have subsidiaries that are these private security firms. And in Pennsylvania, at Pittsburgh last year, they allowed G20 private security, they admitted this, to snatch and grab citizens and put them in cars and drive them away God knows where. I mean, this banking elite is a pack of scum. What's your take on that, Bob?
Exactly the same as yours, and they're going to continue to be more aggressive as time goes on, because there's more and more people from different walks of life who are protesting the different things because they're finding out through talk radio as well as the internet. And the more they do it, the more people are going to come out.